On this episode of Turning Point Tactics, I'm going to be reviewing a new Kill Team product by GG Prints, or GG's Prints, sorry, I should say, and it's going to be this travel box and tournament box and how it can be used. I've just taken it to a tournament to test it myself, running my Phobos at Warhammer World, to make sure that I can actually give you some real in-game sort of feedback as to how it played and how good it was. And hopefully I'll be able to sell you on why you should probably get one of these, or you might want to choose something else. So stand by for the review of this travel box.
Hello and welcome to Turning Point Tactics, the competitive Kill Team 40k YouTube channel focusing on giving you the strategies and tactics to seize initiative every turning point. I'm your host Ryan, and I'm here to help give you the tips and tricks that elevate every part of your Kill Team experience. So no matter if you're a casual or a competitive player, there should be something here for you. If you're interested in supporting the channel, there's a few ways you can go about doing so. You can join the Patreon, where you get access to members only Discord, Patreon priority questions, early access to content, exclusive content, and tournament awards. Or if you find yourself buying Kill Team goodies or hobby supplies, you can use one of our affiliate links in the description below, or discount codes with Crossfire Games and GG Prints. We're always keen to hear your thoughts and feedback, so don't leave that comment box empty. Let us know what you think. Once again, thanks for your support, and with all that said, let's get into it.
Okay, so as you can see, I'm doing a product review. I have been given this to review by GG Prints. It's very, very kind of him. And essentially, I have taken it to the Warhammer World 2-day tournament and been competing with my Phobos and testing it to see how well it can be used. So the first thing I'm going to say about this is I love the size of it. It's A4. It has all the things that you need in a single box, which means that when you're at a tournament, you can just take this with you and put it down on the table, and you have everything you need all in one place, ready to go, which is awesome to start with, right? So that's the first point. One of the things you'll notice is currently missing from all of this is loads and loads of stickers. Usually I put loads of stickers on my boxes, but I'm just showing you what the clean one looks like when it first arrives before I then sticker mine up and put all my club stickers on going forwards. So essentially I assume it's a really useful box. It's a standard 4-litre capacity, really useful box. And inside it has this essentially dice tray, scoring board, token box, all combined. It has a magnetic bottom foreplate for models. As you can see in here, I've got a whole bunch of Phobos Marines, so it can take a full sort of kill team. I actually have way more than I need in here, so if you wanted to, you could thin out half of these models and you'd have enough for a full kill team. So it probably fits 2 kill teams worth of models in here. And then essentially you have this rather lovely organizer. So for those that aren't familiar with these sort of organisers, as you can see in here, I've actually got a dice tray. It's got a printed mouse mat with my logo, which is really nice. So high quality sort of mouse mat to be able to see the logo for your custom sort of prints, which is really good. It's got positions for all of your tokens that you have in the game, all here. I've just filled it with all the various dice that I have, but you could also put tokens in here and that sort of stuff if you want to. But I have loads of different dice for loads of different reasons. I end up basically collecting dice from various people and handing out dice as the tournament goes on. But what is useful for me is I often use the different coloured dice, so white dice for scoring, red dice for wounds, blue dice for other things. And so like it could be like marker light tokens, something like that. So having all these different colours available really, really useful. Up here you have actually the scoreboard. So what you have at the top is a turning point marker. So if you have a sort of a standard kill team dice, standard D6 size, you can put that in for the turning point. And if you have one of the smaller size dice, is the one that GW sells in their sort of larger little box pack things, they fit in here for you to be able to see your crit op and for you to be able to run, say, how much CP you have and all that sort of stuff. And it works obviously on both sides, so you have both teams being able to be scored, and that makes it really easy for you to keep track of the score throughout the course of the game. So nice and easy. I use that in here. I chuck all the dice in these various bits, but you can obviously choose how you want to do it. It's got a little groove in the side here to be able to lift this out, and this is actually what you put basically on the table next to the game. So you have your scorecard, all of your tokens that you could possibly need, all of your dice, all in one place. What you'll see is that all of these are grooves, so it's easy to get your finger underneath and take them out. And essentially what you have on the side here is exactly the same thing, little grooves to be able to get your access to your dice to make sure you can easily get the dice out as required. So I've got loads of tokens, probably too many tokens, don't need that many, but I'm just showing you the capacity of the box and how much it can sort of fit. So that's the top half. So yeah, that's a really good thing. What I should say about this as well is I'm pretty sure all of the colours are pretty much customizable, so you can choose what you want. Obviously I went for the TPT standard sort of affair of orange and black. And then that reveals your second tray, which is all of your equipment, your tack-up cards, your objective markers and all that sort of stuff as well. So I have all of this in here, and clearly if you did have faction-specific cards, they would fit in this little box next to the approved ops cards. So you can see this is the standard size. There's a little gap here to just get your finger in. Your approved ops cards can come out here. And what's at the top of this over here is you can actually, if you take out some cards, these are the maps obviously, but just to make it nice and difficult, you can play your cards into this little slot and it will then hold them there. So you can essentially have 3 cards in the slot. So you can have your attack ops, you can have the crit op, the kill op, all that sort of thing, all in one place, nice and easy for everyone to see. So yeah, so that's the standard thing with that, and it's a pretty good layout to be able to see all the stuff that you need all in one place and find it really quickly. I always find that for me, I lose stuff really easily, so being able to have everything exactly where you need it is really useful. You've got a slot for your light barricades, you've got a slot for your heavy barricades. The ladders are actually in a little slot here, you can probably see, just tucked in. The portal barricade, razor wire, laser marker, which this is like an essential part of Kill Team kit, and you need to have somewhere to be able to put it, right? And then for me, I'm using 32mm teams. So I've separated out some specific markers, measurement tokens for me to use. Obviously, again, branded with my name, which is really nice. And then I've got a whole, I've just used, because I don't have any faction cards, I use the app instead. I've used this whole other thing for more markers, help me to be able to measure out what my opponent's models need. So if they need to say, oh, do you have like a 40mm or something, well actually I can use one of these or a 25mm, and I've got 28s in here as well. So I've got everything I need in there. And then I'm using this little tray down here is another option. I'm actually using the Crossfire Games tokens. I find them to be just really clear. I think what I will do actually is essentially what I was running. I should probably show you what I was running on the day. I had this in the top, and I had my Crossfire Games caddy. It fits in here quite nicely, and then I would take this out and I'd be using this to be able to then have all my tokens available as I went through. And so then I was taking it out, using the scorecard and getting out all the bits that I needed in here. You can see that I've actually managed to blue tack my barricades to the thing, because I like to use too much blue tack. That's a classic Turning Point Tactics problem. So yeah, so I've got enough room basically for all my faction tokens and markers here. I've got all my measurement sticks that I need. I have everything all nice and easy to go. It all fits in. It's really neat and tidy, and you can essentially keep everything you need all in one place, which is for me really, really useful, because when you're getting to a table and you're wanting just to get started, you don't want to be trying to look for certain things, and you don't want to forget anything or forget to pick up your laser marker, whatever that is. So as soon as you leave the table, you can just be like, yep, cool, make sure everything fits in. I now know I've got all my stuff, and away you go. So that's the overall laydown of how this box works. What I should say as well is underneath here is the measurement stick. So this is a extending measurement stick, which is actually one of my favorite parts of this kit. So essentially it goes all the way out, right? So you just choose how far you want it to. Standard 6, if you want it to be 7 or 8, it goes out like that and then can shoot back in. I found this to be one of the most useful tools that I use consistently all weekend, because I was constantly asking people, oh, how far do you move? Oh, Goremongers, cool, you're 7, and then you're charging, nice, it's out to there, and then you can measure the engagement range from that. So I found that to be super, super useful, particularly on my Reavers with 8-inch range pistols. Having an 8-inch range measurement stick, just as soon as you need it, and then it being able to collapse back down was really good. Underneath that, it also has room for your 3-inch, 1-inch and 2-inch markers. So I've got the stacks for 2 card ones, and then a fancy UKTC 101 once. And underneath that as well, you have the objective markers, can fit in there as well, so do you need them? But also it has room for the standard objective marker discs with a little like inlay cutout for you to be able to stack them on here as well, should you need to. So really useful kit, and it has it all available in one nice, easy to use box. So for me, I found this really helpful for just making sure I was in the right headspace whenever I came to a game. All right, so I'd get down to the table. I would know that the first thing I basically want to do is roll off for like initiative. So I want to make sure I have a dice that's nice and available to be able to get out straight away. I can roll the dice into the box, boom, away you go. People can see what you're doing, and straight away, you know, you have all the kit that you need with you. My one critique, and it's probably a me problem more than anyone else, is I'm probably a little bit too enthusiastic with my dice rolls, so I often found that I was bouncing out of the tray because it's a little sort of thin, but that's again a me problem rather than I've done that, by the way, probably on every single dice tray I've ever owned, so it would have to be a very deep dice tray for me not to do that. But I just thought it's worthy of note. The other thing I would say is these are obviously the standard cardboard tokens. I'm not a massive fan of these standard cardboard tokens, so I'd probably replace these with the bespoke ones. I'm a massive fan of the Crossfire Games bespoke tokens. I find these to be super clear and visible, so if you guys haven't seen these before, like I've got the green to show that you're ready, I've got the orange to show you that on the opposite. It's so clear and easy to see. So I'll be using these in combination with this to go forwards, is essentially how I will be doing it. So if you're interested in getting these, the Crossfire tokens, you can the Crossfire Games, you can get them, and you can get them with a discount if you use TPT24 at checkout, or follow the link in the description below. It'll immediately apply the coupon, you get 5% off, and you can get yourself some of those tokens. Or if you're interested in getting one of these boxes, then you can also use TPT10 at GG Prints, and you'll get yourself 10% off one of these. Now, I think there is one thing I will say about this, is I think this is probably the ultimate horizontal box solution for Kill Team, right? So like, this is a long time ago, I was like, in my mind, I had something that was similar to this, but not quite as detailed and well done and high quality as this is, right? Like, so this for me is exactly what you want. You want that scorecard, you want a dice tray, you want all your models to be nice and safe, magnetized bottom, so they all like, you know, stick in, don't move around too easy unless you pull them up with the magnets. You can carry all your dice, you've got all your equipment that you could possibly need, you've got space and everything's nice and organized. It's pretty much perfect as far as that goes. So for me, this is exactly what you want when you get to the table if you want a horizontal solution. I guess the only reason I would say you wouldn't buy one of these is if you are using a backpack and you want to travel with stuff vertically. Now, as you can see, like everything stays in and it's fine. But if you are moving around aggressively with this, I would just get really worried. Like, that's just again, that's probably a me problem. I can hear stuff moving around, all the dice, everything seems to be staying relatively put. But this is like if you're carrying it horizontally, I cannot think of a better solution. But my personal anxiety of this thing just moving around, or dice coming loose, or my magnets failing, is probably is too much for me. But I'm almost certain there's people out there that will trust it and probably have absolutely no issues. And as you can see, like, it doesn't move. So if you're being gentle with it, it's probably fine. And therefore, for me, if I know I'm going to a long weekend event, I'm going to be carrying this around table to table, I want to have everything good to go, I'm probably going to take one of these. But there is going to be alternatives for people that want to have like a vertical stacking solution. This is like, for me, the horizontal stacking solution. And after 6 games at Warhammer World, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, I found it so useful. I found the really clear and obvious scorecard just right next to the dice tray really helpful. I found the fact that I didn't lose any of my equipment, didn't lose any of my tokens. I can make sure as soon as I finished a game, yep, everything's where it should be. I had the right amount of dice. I'm good to go. I just found that to be so helpful when you're trying to settle into a kill team experience. The last thing you want to do is be worrying about making sure you have the right kit or equipment with you. So for me, this is, I would say, a must-have to get, and I highly recommend that you buy one. And make sure you save yourself some money, and you can support the channel at the same time, as I said, by using that code TPT10. You can get yourself one of these, nice and high quality, not too expensive, does everything you need it to do, away you go. You can then also get some tokens at the same time, and you're set, right? So that's the first half of the review. Now, the second half of the review is the other thing that I bought from GG Prints. So inside this, which I showed you briefly earlier, were some of the measurement tokens that I've been using, right? So these are what I think are the most accurate and best method of measuring stuff for kill team. So pretty much always, like whenever whenever something gets close and you're not too sure if it's going to be possible or not for you to do a movement, these are your friends. And you combine it with laser markers to be able to see cover angles, and you can then make sure that you're moving your models nice and accurately and accounting for the correct distance. And these you can get as well on their site. Now, what I would recommend is these. When GG Prints standardly sells these, they're all color coded. So as you can see in here, all of these are not color coded. So these are all on brand, and I've gone for a bespoke thing. That is a me thing that I wanted to do. I personally would recommend that you get them color coded, unless you have a particular brand color that you want to use. But that's up to you. You do you. I wanted to keep everything in theme, hence why I've gone for this orange and black with my TPT on the back of it. And they're just like a poker chip design. They're super accurate. They're really good quality. They do exactly what I want them to do, and they're so helpful on the tabletop. I'm going to be doing a video talking about movement and how to make sure that you can get the most out of your movement and positioning. And these for me are like the king of positioning options and that sort of thing. So for me, like, consider getting these. I'm a massive fan of them. If I see my opponent using them, I'm immediately comfortable with like how precise they're going to be and how they're going to measure stuff properly. And I think to myself, yep, this is going to be a good game. Straight away, I have that sort of immediate sense of relief. The next thing that I was most pleasantly surprised by was this measuring stick. And I just, like, this is like of all the nerdy things to talk about, we're talking about Warhammer already, right? And now I'm talking about a measuring stick in Warhammer and saying how it's super useful. But I just found it to be just so useful and easy to use, and I was constantly referring to it to make sure that I was able to quickly measure stuff. And so for me, like, this combined with these sort of stepping tools is just such a useful combination of tools, because Phobos moves 7 inches, right? So like that's my 7-inch move in a straight line. But I knew that if I had to take any corners, I'd be using these. And then additionally, if I needed to add a charge range on, I can then just go, cool, that is my charge range potential, and then adjust it as and when. So if I had a guy that was on a 90-degree corner, I would just go, yep, one inch out, and I just go click down, that's my new charge range, right? And so just being able to do that so quickly and easily, for me, is really useful. So I love this little tool. I love these little measuring tokens, how everyone described them, little poker chips. And I think the way that this set's organised just means that I have everything I need to hand. It's all nice and easy to get to, and I found it thoroughly easy to use throughout. So once again, if you're interested, you're in the market for a new sort of token caddy organising set, you want to have it all in one place, you want it to come in a little box like this, keep your models safe, have a little sort of display area for them, whilst at the same time having your scorecard, your dice tray, all your dice, all your tokens, all your equipment, your cards, all in one thing. So all you have to do when you get to a tournament is grab your one single A4 sized tournament companion, get one of these, they're amazing, and they're not too expensive. So I could not recommend this more. Make sure you save yourself some money, use that code TPT10, save yourself a little bit of money, support the local community, and get yourself one of these boxes. If you have any questions about the box and you want me to answer it, throw them in the questions in the comment section below, and I'll answer them for you. But so far I've had no quality issues. Everything has gone really well. As I said, the only thing I would say is just be careful how hard you throw your dice into this, because they just bounce out. But that is, again, probably a me issue rather than a product issue than anything else. So yeah, any questions, as I said, leave them below, and if not, buy yourself one of these, or get something that's similar, and consider, if you are looking in the market for tokens, getting something like from Crossfire Games, using that Crossfire Games code TPT24 to get yourself some really high quality tokens to match. And then once you've got all of these combined, you're good to go. And I'll just quickly show you, just so you can see how I was doing it. Like, this all closes up, and I just chuck that inside the dice tray. Done. Easy. You're good to go for a tournament weekend. Everything's in one place. How easy is that? All right. Hope that was useful. See you next time.
That brings us to the end of the episode. Hopefully you found something new or useful while listening, and if you did, throwing us a like would be greatly appreciated. If you want to make sure you don't miss any episodes, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so you get notifications as soon as the next one drops. It really is the best way to help a small channel like ours. And if you can't wait and you do want early access, we have a Patreon where you can get exclusive access to all our content ahead of time. As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. So drop a comment below and we'll get right to you. Thank you so much for listening. I'm your host Ryan. This has been Turning Point Tactics, and we'll see you next week.